Hey guys, welcome back to the Toy Lounge, and today we're going to be doing another Jurassic Clash video review. And I believe this will be the last figure that we'll be looking at in this wave of Jurassic Clash. There are other packages in the series, larger ones, with the T-Rex, and there's another one with a giant gorilla. But as far as this wave goes, I believe this will be the last one, as we've looked at all the others in previous videos. I will be looking at the other ones in the future, but we're going to finish up this wave in this video. This is the Dino Wrangler, so the smaller figures in the wave, and I believe it's pronounced Trimetrodon. Trimetrodon, yep. Correct me if I'm wrong. And on the back you've got all the other figures we've looked at already in the wave. The giant read up, if you want to pause and have a read at that. I was a big fan of the packaging in this wave. You could definitely just display these on your shelf unopened. Looking like the Trimetrodon looks similar to a modern day Komodo dragon, maybe, in my opinion, although much larger. And we get another figure. I believe that's a repaint of the El Jefe figure, the larger muscular figure, and different head sculpt for a different character. Some accessories there. Let's not waste any time. Let's get this guy opened up. And here we have the Trimetrodon outside of its packaging. And just quickly we'll look at the figure that he comes with. Placing the Trimetrodon on the side for a moment. I believe this figure's name is Titan. If you look up the website of the Lanard Corp HQ. Basically a repaint or a reuse of the El Jefe mold. Reminds me a lot of Crocmaster from G.I. Joe. Someone that would operate in the swamps with wildlife. Definitely crocodiles. Or in this case, dinosaurs. Just get a close look at that head sculpt. That mask is molded on, so it's non-removable. So, looks like some sort of breathing apparatus. Titan would spend a lot of time perhaps in underwater operations, deep in the swamps. Very menacing overall look. like the skeleton that's painted on his holster that sits on his chest. Looks like to be some red tattoo markings on his right upper arm. Yeah, some nice detail there. The pistol he comes with is removable. I think that's the same one we got with El Jefe. And he also comes with a removable knife. Which you can store in a sheath on his left leg, like so. So that's nice. Not much paint on the figure. The upper body is of that beige plastic, and the legs are molded in that green, that olive green. Probably the only paint you would see is on the belt around the waist and the straps going across his chest. And the face mask, I believe, is molded in that green plastic. And you have the wider part painted over that olive green. And one thing I'd like to nitpick about these figures is the paint on the straps that go around the waist doesn't continue on the back of the figure. As you can see, there's some nice detail in the molding, but they're not really painted. I guess if you're good with a brush, maybe you can customize these and do your own paint if you prefer. But yeah, just one thing I'd prefer on these figures is if the paint went all the way around, just to highlight that detail in the sculpting. Because there really is some nice sculpting in these figures. Very nice detail. I guess for budget reasons they're not painted as well as you'd see in figures like G.I. Joe. But yeah, front on, he looks really nice. The paint is applied really well. The articulation, the same as the others. The head rotates all the way around. Doesn't get much up and down movement. There is a little, but not that much. Shoulders go up about there. They rotate full 360. There is a rotation on the elbow, the full 360, and they also bend to a nice 90-degree angle. No articulation in the wrist, unfortunately. He has the 360 rotation around the waist and can move up and down like so. So good articulation there. The hips go out not too far, about there. When you try to give these too much, they can separate from the ball joint in the hip. Go forward about there, and a single joint at the knee. So not super articulated for this day and age, but comparable to what you used to get in the 80s with G.I. Joe. So it's okay. Putting Titan to the side, let's have a look at the main highlight of this review. And that's the Trimetrodon. Have a close look at the detail there. Again, very detailed, like all the other figures that I've reviewed. Very nice use of the red paint on the grey body. Goes really well. Let's have a look at that face. Big, long, huge purple tongue. Sharp teeth. And you have that articulation in the jaw. There's his chilled out look, like, hey, I don't want any trouble. To beware my purple tongue, get away from me. The saddle, again, molded in the same orange plastic. Also has a what would you call this? Just a handle for the rider that goes around his neck. And on the saddle he has these, looks like to be spear launchers, and we'll get to that now because the accessories it comes with are these 4 spears, and what you do is simply just place them like so. You can press them all the way in, lock them in so they don't fall out. And I was hoping there was something you could press to release these spears, but unfortunately there isn't. Which I guess adds to the imagination of young kids, where instead of just pressing a button, they can play like the old days where they just use their hands to pull them out and shoot them out and make sound effects. That's how we used to do it back in the day, remember? Although I'm still looking, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there is a feature there that unlocks them and shoots them out, but I don't think there is. There is no information on the packaging whether it does that or not. So I'm assuming it doesn't. The accessories are removable. They come off quite easily if you want to remove them. And with the saddle, just simply undo the buckle on his belly. And there also have plugs which plug into the figure. In this case there's one plug there. And there you have your Trimetrodon, as it would be running loose in the wild before it was tamed by beast tamers. And if you're into dinosaurs, I guess this looks great as a display on its own, or even if your kids enjoy playing with dinosaurs. Very detailed looking dinosaur. Just have a quicker, closer look on the detail on the belly. And I also like the detail here on the fin. Very nicely done there. And again, at first glance, when I saw this inside the packaging, I thought that the legs may be articulated, but they're definitely not. Very nicely detailed the more I look at this figure. I like those red eyes. And just the way the red paint gives that fin that effect, the way it's been brushed. And the red looks like to be the same red that's used on Titan on his tattoo as well. Now I did notice on the packaging, and I believe a viewer mentioned that they'd prefer this sort of setup before as well. Tight Titan is shown on the artwork of the box. We'll just put everything aside for a moment. To be, if I can just bring the camera up for a moment. He's shown to be riding the Trimetrodon. And thinking about it, it would make more sense, especially with these breathing apparatus and the Trimetrodon being an aquatic creature. So let's go ahead and see how that looks, because I happen to have the Trimetrodon just handy. We'll just zoom the camera back a bit. And we'll grab Titan and place him on the Trimetrodon. And we'll see how that works. So yeah, I think that works quite well. Maybe Titan was originally meant to be packaged with the Trimetrodon, I don't know. Maybe there were some changes along the way for some reason. But this definitely makes more sense. But yeah, there's just another option. You can play around with that idea yourself. But I'd probably prefer it Titan with the Trimetrodon. Definitely makes more sense. For me anyway. And as I said before, I'm sure someone else mentioned that in the comments as well. But yeah, I kind of like this idea. And just to give you an idea of how the Trimetrodon measures up to the other figures in the series, we have him next to the raptor and the saber-tooth. So roughly about the same size. The Trimetrodon, definitely the heavier of the three. I'd probably say the raptor is the lightest. But yeah, definitely the heavier of the three. Not that much heavier, but the weight difference is definitely there. And here's the Trimetrodon next to the Trimetrodon. I'm getting quite good at the pronunciation of these names, I think. Hey? Yeah? Yeah, just to give you an idea of scale there. So the Trimetrodon, much larger. And finally, he is Titan with El Jefe. So as you can see, pretty much the same mold, aside from the color scheme and the different head sculpts. And if you were to ask me which character I prefer with this body sculpt, I'd definitely say the Titan. Not to take anything away from El Jefe. I definitely like the overall look. But if I was to pick one out of the two, I'd probably pick Titan. And that just about wraps up this review. Overall, a great line. I love this wave. I hope they make more. There's plenty of other dinosaurs I could think of they could release in this line. He's hoping for a new maybe line of figures that goes with these dinosaurs. Something maybe He-Man inspired, one can only hope. But yeah, overall, a great line. Really happy. Definitely recommend you guys pick this up if you're into this sort of thing. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And stick around, there's more videos coming up ahead. And I'll see you soon.